So after reading the chapter, I've come to the conclusion that Shanks, or Evil Shanks, and female companion are probably the holy knights that were teased a long time ago. Or, I don't know, someone mentioned it a couple chapters ago. But before we go even further, right, am I like the only one who is actually thinking this? Gaban, let me holler at you real quick. Because this definitely your son. Roger did already been had a kid. I mean, he did too, but that's a whole different thing. And then, Rayleigh wifed up, and then we got you next up in line. So Gaban, who is human, and then we have Giant said to be impregnated by human male. So I'm like wondering, like, how did that like actually work? Like, did you like just walk up in there, or like, or was it just through like traditional means? Like, I don't want to go into no details and stuff and all that, but I was just a little curious. So, just me then? Alright. Now, until we get a name, Evil Shanks has been deemed Shanks until we've been told otherwise. This is definitely Gaban's kid. There is no version of this where we walk out of here thinking that it is not Gaban's kid. At this point, Gaban is like the Sanji in the group and has had not even any relevance, but he has had no role to play in the story this far. At most, the best we got was a fight, almost a fight between him and someone from Whitebeard's crew. Something like that. I promise you, Mori on standby. So trust me, I got this dude 100%. Now, Shanks got a sword. Now, we know anybody who got a sword is an opponent for my dude Noah. He told you. Don't worry, we gonna get into it. But before that, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and join the notification gang. Bro is either gonna fight Luffy or Zoro and Luffy. Now, I know it's a little far-fetched, but hear me out. Opponents with swords are usually opponents for Zoro. Usually. Oda has basically taken the time to almost kind of redraft or reevaluate that approach, because in Wano, Queen did have a sword, but the thing is, when you think of the chronologically, no, the
one eternity later,
the chain of command between him, Kaido, and King. I mean, it was Kaido, then it was King, and then it was Queen. So we all knew that deep down he was definitely gonna fight Sanji. But I mean, him and Noah did clash, but we always knew that King was definitely gonna be that Zoro fight. Oda at this point is trying to change this indefinitely, or not change it, but I guess shake the basket a little more, because it's becoming a little predictable. At this point, we kind of know who's gonna fight who. It becomes a little repetitive, and people are like, yeah, I already saw this coming, man, and you know what I'm talking about, or whatever. And there's all that, but yeah. I would say the one component or the nuance that actually potentially changes this is that, one, this person is Shanks, or looks like Shanks. So at this point, when you think about it, once Luffy and Shanks haven't even seen each other since Shanks left, back when Luffy was like yay high. And of course, Luffy's now yay high. So I guess the first thing on sight, the moment he see him, he gonna be like, hey, yo, it's Shanks. I got his hat. But I mean, he gonna think it's Shanks until we establish who he actually is, or Oda decides to let us know who it is. But once Luffy actually sees Shanks, I can't even imagine how this is actually gonna play out. Hey, yo, Luffy, run me my oh, this hat? And it's God Fruit Luffy. Come take that from me. Yeah. I guess that's how it would play out if I was writing the story, but I mean, the story just wouldn't be as good. I see Luffy and Shanks fighting, but I also see him clashing with Noah. And I mean, maybe it could be a 2v1, but I feel like that kind of setup would only be necessary for like a Kaido level villain. Now, the Holy Knights, we can't really establish how strong they are, but, or at least in particular, the Shanks Holy Knight, but can we really equivalent him to Kaido? I gotta see him fight first. I don't even want to call it because we just haven't seen these guys do anything. The only thing we really have to base on how strong they are is just the fact that they're under the chain of command of the Gorosei. So where do you stand at that point? Are you Yonko level or between Yonko level, or are you Yonko commander level? I'm gonna go above Yonko commander, close to Yonko, but not Yonko yet. This is just speculation, but I mean, I could very much be wrong. So the mysterious figure that we've all seen at the beginning of the chapter who said, oh, the Straw Hats, so y'all pulling up. I am definitely stating, I'm going to make a statement. It has to be Scopper Gaban. Like, it can't be Shiki. Douglas Bullet caught a fade. Shiki, I'm pretty sure, wasn't on good terms with anybody, so it would just be irrelevant for him to be in the story. Plus, we already had a movie about him. Same with Bullet. But the only person, Rayleigh's already done his thing. He trained Luffy. He helped during the time skip, during the war, you know, who else? I can't remember her name. Boa Hancock. He helped with the whole Boa Hancock situation where the Seraphim pulled up and Blackbeard almost got her fruit. So I think he's kind of done as far as we know right now. Scopper Gaban is not the only one who ain't done nothing yet. So at this point, I'm putting my money on him.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Scopper Gaban would be the Sanji of the group. Rayleigh would be Roanoa, and then Luffy would be Roger. I'm really looking at the power scaling as a whole. I'm basing the power scaling based on the chain of command. So I'll put Gaban in third, just like I would put Sanji behind Zoro. Argue with the wall. Dude really pulled up to Elbaph and decided to just lay roots in this joint. And I'm still trying to get my mind about how that actually worked. But, you know, don't nobody want to talk about it. We see the Straw Hats reunited along with the Giants who they met along the way. And I feel like this is definitely a nice touch by Oda because it shows the growth that they've had. And I think we don't, I guess, celebrate moments like this enough. When you think of Luffy and Zoro from the first chapter or the first 2 to 3 chapters to where they are now, they had a tiny boat and it was just those two. Now they're like almost 9 to 10 people deep. Luffy's a Yonko. They're a Yonko crew. Power-wise, they're light years ahead of where they were before. And it's nice to sit there and be able to celebrate that and just look back and think, you know, it's like, you know, started from the bottom, now we here. Also, I feel like in this chapter, which is what I liked a lot about, was that Oda's really given a chance and an opportunities for the lesser developed Straw Hats to really have an opportunity to kind of shine and not work through their issues, but basically give them like a mini arc where they have some sort of quest to do in the arc. I feel like people like Frankie, underused. Chopper, underused. Usopp ain't had no development since Dressrosa. Robin hasn't really done anything per se. I mean, she had like 1 fight. Okay, 2 fights in the New World, but that was really it. But I feel like her reuniting with Saul and honestly asking for extra time to have that conversation with him definitely gives us an opportunity to explore more of their relationship in terms of what it looks like now. Chopper reading more medicine books gives him a chance to develop his ability to provide medicine, but also I'm not sure how it would look like in the sense of him getting better. I guess it would be more in regards to his strength and the amount of knowledge he knows. Frankie has a chance to upgrade the Sunny. I mean, the Sunny hasn't had an upgrade since Water 7. And I mean, they're not just going to get rid of the Sunny and do a whole new thing. But what I will say is that the Sunny definitely going to come out a lot better after Elbaph than before going into Elbaph. Usopp gets a chance to be a warrior of the sea to the point where now he gets to understand how the Giants actually operate and why they are the way that they are in this day and age. I'm definitely happy that Oda's given the time and opportunity for these characters to develop, so at least we can have a more well-developed round crew. I mean, we've always had, Sanji's had a lot of development, Luffy's had a lot of development, Zoro's had a lot of development, and now we're giving more chances to the other characters to become a lot more developed. But yeah, outside of that, I definitely enjoyed this chapter. I can't wait for the next chapter. I can't wait to see once the Holy Knights actually find Loki. That's going to be an interesting turn of events. But yeah, either way, let me know your thoughts below. Did you like the chapter? Did you not like the chapter? Where do you think the story's going next? Either way, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all later, man. Peace.